Hi, everybody. It is Proline, the Super Bowl edition, and we are ready to talk some football, some basketball as well, because a lot of money to be made out there right now. My name is Dave Cokin. Jim Feist, chairman of the board himself, is here. Chip Chirimbes, Big Al McMordie. I've got some specials to tell you about. We're going to break down some things on the big game, obviously, which is why you're probably tuning in. Anyway, we're glad to have you with us. Before we get to that, let's get everybody started by letting you know what we've got going for this Super Bowl weekend. And Chip, let's start it with you.
Well, Dave, I came up with a big game of the year a couple of weeks ago, and Jim, you said you thought it might have been a little early for that. Missouri crushed Baylor. Last week we come back with another game of the year in the Mountain West with Colorado State over San Diego State, and I have my third one in 3 weeks on Saturday. College game of the year, you shouldn't miss it. It's absolutely free, unless you want to get online and pay for it, but you can get it free if you call my office at 866-899-9462. Get my college game of the year once again on Saturday, and we'll throw in the Super Bowl winner just as a little additional kick, so have some incentives. Give me a call, 866-899-9462.
Big Al, well, I'll tell you what, anytime I see a little note that's passed me that's got Fortune 500 written on it, I know it's something really good. These have been outstanding. And on Saturday, apparently you've got something projected that looks extremely strong.
Yeah, Saturday's college basketball card looks to be the strongest of the entire season, Dave. And I'm going to have not one but two college basketball Fortune 500 Club plays going this weekend. And if you sign up by Friday, you're going to get one of those two games. One goes Friday, the other goes Saturday. And it's going to be a double Fortune 500 Club weekend. And those plays go for $500 online. But if you're one of the first 100 callers who calls by Friday, you will get Friday's Fortune 500 Club along with Saturday's play. Plus, we're going to throw in the Super Bowl, and it's all just $10. You're not going to pay $1,000, just $10 little dollars if you join by Friday. And you can call toll free at 866-896-1628. You'll get two Fortune 500 Club plays on the weekend, plus the Super Bowl for just $10. 866-896-1628.
Almost all the stuff I do is math-based. That's where my strength is, and it's why I'm so good in baseball, to be honest with you, because I have a very strong math background. But it's the same way in basketball, and because of that, I have trouble projecting what I'm going to be doing 3 or 4 days in advance. If you're more of a situational, a technical player, maybe you're able to do those things. I don't fall into that classification. So I need the lines before I can determine, okay, this comes up strong. That's why I've never, you don't see me coming on here and saying, well, I'm going to have this game or that game coming up. I don't know until the day of the game. I almost really don't know the night before because people can't bet into those lines for the most part. They have to wait for the morning. So I'd love to tell you that I've got a huge game going on Saturday, but I don't know if I will or not. I'll know that on Saturday. I do know this. If you're playing my games right now, if you watch the Monday edition of Proline, I said, look, my stuff wasn't very good last week, but I'm probably going to bounce back this week. Yeah, I guess so, because I haven't lost a game all week. I mean, it's been that good this week. This is a great time to get on, because February's annually been my best month in basketball. You're going to get February's basketball action plays the whole month for $29. That's $1 a day. If you sign up today, you're going to get my call on the Super Bowl, side and total included. And on Saturday, whatever conference, I will have something strong, I'm quite sure, because there's so many games. If I've got a conference game of the year on Saturday, you will definitely get that included. If I don't have one, you'll get my next one included. It's all for $29. Let me call, start winning. These numbers work. 1-866-841-1665, the number to call. 1-866-841-1665. I forgot to mention, by the way, that we want you to follow us on Twitter at Jim Feist Sports. And if there's any subject you want to know about, just tweet us. Go to Twitter at Jim Feist Sports, just like you see on the screen right now. Ask us a question or give us a topic you'd like to address. And if we use it on the show, you'll be put in a drawing to win $100 worth of plays from any of the handicappers here on Proline. It's Twitter at Jim Feist Sports. Also, my free plays. Sorry to take so long. 1-888 712-6800, free on tape every day. And you can get them sent to you via text message as well. Just text Cokin, C-O-K-I-N, 313131. All right. Jim, you have got a monster weekend set up. I know that, and this is really important, because I know how strong you were in the Super Bowl, because you bet the Super Bowl before we even knew it was playing in the Super Bowl, because you felt strong about what was going to take place here. And it turned out, it works out just perfectly for you. You take it from there. I mean, this is going to be good, right? If you're on Jim's side, you're going to win money. If you're not, you're probably in trouble.
Thank you, Dave. Yes, I did bet the Super Bowl pretty much around the halftime mark of the San Francisco Giant game, when a couple of places opened the lines. They had New England favored over both NFC teams, and I went in and took advantage of what I thought was a soft number over both teams. Actually, I thought the number was wrong. I took advantage of it, and it's worked out for me in my direction. Talk about basketball, Dave. I'm 65-49 in college hoops, 16-9 the last 4 weeks in high roller releases. My college hit my college revenge game of the year last week with Minnesota. The NBA's 3-1 on the NBA high rollers. The NBA blowout, one on Friday with Oklahoma City. I'm also 28-16 with my NBA game of the year plays. I started off hot. I leveled off for a little bit, picked it back up again. We're on a roll. We got a 5-pack college and pro basketball thing going on this weekend for $5. That's right. Plus, you'll get my call on the Super Bowl as well. If you sign up Friday, you'll get a three Super Bowl prop plays and my Friday night NBA Shocker of the Year. I'm 28-16 in the NBA Game of the Years. Talk about bankroll builder, all just for $5. You want to pick it up at 1-866-841-1655. 1-866-841-1655. 5 big college and pro basketball games and the Super Bowl, the Shocker of the NBA. Just make that call. Make sure you do it by Friday. 1-866-841-1655. Back to you, Dave.
All right. So, one note before we get into the Lakers and Nuggets, the first game I'm going to talk about. You just heard 4 really good offers. They range in price from $3 all the way to $29. That's the most expensive offer out there. And you get a variety of different types of analysis to choose from. No reason for you not to get involved if you like winning money, because that's what we do at this time of year. Okay, Lakers and Nuggets. Chip, the Lakers have been atrocious on the road. They did manage to put together, a little bit of positive stuff recently, but right now I think they're like the number 7 seed in the West. It's early, and that can change, but they got some issues. The Nuggets, they look like this looks like a pretty good basketball team. Denver's at home in this game. They're going to be the favorite.
Well, I watched the Nuggets last night against the Grizzlies and was surprised to see him fold at the end and Memphis pull that game out, because Denver really plays some really good defense. I think they're very well coached, Dave. I was very impressed with Denver's. They lost a few people playing overseas because of an NBA holdout or lockout, and it doesn't look like they've missed a beat, really. But the Lakers, Dave, I hate to tell you this, I put them in the same category as the Boston Celtics. I think they're in a decline. I think both those teams are in trouble this year before it's out. And I'm going to fade the Lakers anytime I can, and I think this Denver team will be the side here. They're younger, and I just like the way they play defense. I think they play hard, and I think they're very well coached.
Now, just while we're talking about this game, has the truncated NBA schedule lent itself to some really strong technical stuff?
I think so entirely. I mean, you see these teams coming back at each other every day. Go ahead, Jim.
That was Al.
No, that wasn't me. Somebody.
Oh, sure. No, I mean, I think, Dave, you do have to look at the schedule when you're handicapping the NBA games, especially this year. And the key for me in this matchup is going to be the fact that the Los Angeles Lakers will be playing with 2 days of rest, while the Denver Nuggets are going to be unrested, as Denver, I believe, is playing the Los Angeles Clippers the day before. And when you take a look at how teams do this season, when they've had 2 more days of rest than their opponents, they're 15-8 against the spread. And it happened the other night. New York had 2 days of rest while the Detroit Pistons were unrested, and New York blew Detroit out 113-84. So, depending on what happens in that game the night before, I'm probably going to be looking at the Lakers here being the very well-rested team. Even though, as I do agree with Chip, I mean, Denver is the better team this year. I love the way Denver's playing. I just don't like the situation for the Nuggets in this ballgame.
Yeah, plus, Denver's got their real big game against an LA team the night before because they're playing the Clippers.
Yeah, it's how times have changed.
Yeah, so give me a little idea of the flavor in LA right now. It's still a Laker town now, but if they're out there, I gotta tell you, watching the game, the Clippers are really exciting. They're a good basketball team.
Yeah, I mean, both teams, both the Clippers and the Lakers are good teams. I don't think the Lakers are going anywhere this year, as far as deep into the playoffs. The Clippers do have a chance, and especially if the Clippers can make some noise and possibly sign Kenyon Martin. Chip mentioned some of those players are playing overseas. Well, Chauncey Billups is recruiting Kenyon Martin to try to become a Clipper when he comes back from China. And if they can pick up a guy like Kenyon Martin, the Clippers are going to be very strong. Yeah, that's something to look out for.
Yeah, Kenyon Martin, he can't go out and play 30 minutes a game anymore. But if you can get him out there for 15 minutes, 7th.
Exactly.
Yeah, he can still be a weapon. No question about that.
Yeah.
Still college basketball, Jim. The Big Ten on Tuesday night. I mean, I'll take the money. The only thing that made watching an Illinois-Ohio State game even mildly palatable was I bet Illinois and I won. We saw something in that game. You'll be hard pressed to see this again this year. Illinois shot 24% in the game and they won. That's akin to Tim Tebow throwing like 3 for 16 and being credit.
That's the first time I've heard the Tebow name in a couple of weeks. Thank God.
Well, I think that's why we have officials there.
I'm telling you what, that game was so ugly. And to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't have won the bet if Green didn't get hurt to Michigan State. But guess what? The rules say I have to take the money because Illinois scored more points than Michigan State did in that game. We have there is some good Big Ten basketball enjoyment from an eye standpoint. And Indiana's been fun to watch. And Ohio State is really good. At Wisconsin on Saturday. This is always a tough assignment because Wisconsin is a very good home team. But in seeing the Badgers this year, Jim, you know what? I don't think they're up to last year. And I think they're going to have trouble with Ohio State in this game, even though it's at Wisconsin. If they don't price me out of this, if they can do that, I mean, if they make Ohio State like a 3-point favorite, or more, I'll probably get out of the game. But if it comes shorter than that, I'm going to have to play against Wisconsin here and the Buckeyes. I think that Wisconsin is just, they're not as athletic as they were a year ago. They're relying too much on the point guard. They've got a couple of guys that can knock it down from outside, but they're not done creating their own shot. And believe me, Ohio State is going to make it tough for them to create their own shot because they take the cover in defense. I just think this is a despite the fact that Bill Ryan's an outstanding coach, and he's got them locked into that system. Just doesn't have a good play. And I think Ohio State's really the better team right now.
I don't think anybody could argue with that assessment. Wisconsin plays great defense, but their shooting statistics, their scoring statistics are horrible. Yes, they are very tough on defense, and yes, they are very tough at home. They're also 15-8 against the spread. They're 18-5 on the season. They're great statistics, and when you look at the records, they're not that much different than Ohio State. And one will look at this game and say, these are even teams. But when you get these teams down the road, and they have to, they have to have a go-to guy to get some points. Wisconsin just struggles terribly, and they did last night against Penn State. Ohio State's the better team. Bad situation for them. It does come down to the line. If they made Ohio State 3 in a game, I'm going to likely be on the underdog because that's the kind of basketball these teams play. And it's tough to win on the road. It's even tougher to win on the road when you're the favorite. So this is one of those point spread situations. I will say this. The way these teams play, now the odds makers know this too, and we don't know the line. But the way they play defense, if Wisconsin can keep the pace at their level, this game should go under a reasonable total because they both play very good defense. Now, it's about pace, though. If Ohio State can get out and move the ball and get anywhere close to their 73 points a game in conference, that's going to be a little bit difficult. When you look at these scores Wisconsin's had, I mean, they're in the 50s and 60s, so you could easily see this game going under. And I'd be looking at the underdog if there is a home underdog in this situation. But it have to be substantial, at least 3 points.
Well, let's look a little football, guys. And you know what?
Hey, guys. Hey, now let me just jump in on the Ohio State-Wisconsin game real quick. One of the benefits of having a database is you can model these games ahead of time. And I think Wisconsin, Jim, is in a terrific situation here against Ohio State because I've got a system that's 145 and 77 going back to 1990. And the system goes against the best college teams with win percentages of 852 or better, if those teams are off a 13-point conference win and cover, and they also won 2 games back. And if those really good college teams are priced from minus 12.5 to plus 2 points on the road, they're 77 and 145 against the spread. So I think it's a really good situation to step in and take the Badgers. And especially when you notice that Ohio State is 2-4 against the spread on the road this year compared to 9-3 at home. I think Wisconsin's in a great spot.
I would agree with that, Al. I mean, I don't have those stats to look at, but the gut feeling when I looked at this game and the scoring matchups in Ohio State on the road, like you said, I don't have that database to work with, but I do like the Wisconsin side if I can catch points.
Yeah, we will be catching points. We'll be catching a couple points with Wisconsin.
I think personally I'm going to probably end up out of the game. But one thing we can be sure, it'll be ugly. I think you nailed it on the face. It was a tough conference to watch. All right, so what I was going to say about the NFL, about the Super Bowl, it just tells you how big it's getting. It's at a level now that it's never been before in terms of the entire thing. The casual fans are into betting on this stuff. It's estimated that more than half the people who watch the game will have some kind of bet going, whether it's one of those squares things that they have at the bars. I'll be in one of those. I'm in 2 of them already. There's just all kinds of ways to have fun with the Super Bowl, and one of those things is the prop bets. Who I think back in those days, Jim, he was at the college game. It was that size. Props. They had some wild stuff in there. It was extremely creative. Jay's over at the LVH now, Las Vegas Hilton, and he's doing the same thing. Years ago, it was looked upon mostly as a novelty. Now, it's serious business. I mean, there are people who really, they take 2 weeks, they've got from the end of the conference championships until the big game itself, and they really break down the props and bet a lot of money on it.
It's just absolutely amazing how big this is now, Jim. And again, it's way past being for hardcore bettors. Everybody's getting involved in this at some level.
It's like New Year's Eve, Dave. Everybody has to have a piece of it. There's parties everywhere. People are getting together in the homes, in the bars. And we all feel real bad for you, Dave, where you have to spend Super Bowl Sunday hosting a party at the Crazy Horse too. I mean, that's tough work. And the fact that you get paid for that, I guess that makes it up for you. But that's a Chipper. I know you feel really bad about that.
I do. I can't believe it. Of course, I will be on the beach myself all day, but the game doesn't. No, hey, the Super Bowl's the greatest. It's the best. You know, Jim, I've been there 24 times, and the idea that the Giants are in it and I'm not at it is really heartbreaking for me personally. But I'll have my buddy down here. We'll watch it. South Florida's big Giant fans. By the way, Dave, a lot of Patriot fans down here, and most of them don't even believe that the Patriots have a chance to win. So I find that kind of disconcerting because as a Giant fan now, I think I'm going to end up with the Patriots.
Well, I will tell you what I believe is going to happen with the point spread. We're looking at. I believe this point spread is going to move down to the 2 level. I don't know if it'll go lower than that. Maybe it will. But there's going to be a lot of Giant money coming in close to game time.
I believe so.
Yeah. So if you like the Patriots, you might get a cheap price on the money line or point spread.
Right.
Jim, that's where I think I don't know what they're going to do on the spread. Because I think they're going to. That's the problem with them playing with a spread in the game. Is that's a key number. It's a game they've moved it. Now, it's big money. But I think they will move the money line because I think what's going to happen is the amateurs get involved. They don't understand the value of the money line at all. And they do this every year. On game day, when the ball teams get set, people like the Giants, they bet them on the money line. Even if they're getting robbed, even if it's plus 105 or plus 20, which is a killer for the line that's killer. They'll bet it anyway because they figure, I can get plus 110 instead of minus 110. The putting your betters is why bookmakers love like that. I mean, it really, it's not that people can't pick teams. You can find the dumbest guy on it.
And he could probably hit close to 50%. But completely stupid money management, betting into bad numbers, things like that, is why bookmakers win so much. The hold, percentage-wise on games, has never been that great for bookmakers. It never will be. It's a 50-50 flip on any particular game.
Dave, I know what you're saying. The thing that we have to remember about this is that most people are not sophisticated bettors.
That's right.
This is, as I started out to say, that this is like New Year's Eve. Everybody's going to have something going on in the game. The fans want to bet on their team to win. They don't want to bet on their team to cover. They want them to win the football game. So there's a lot of bad action out there that the sophisticated player can, if he chooses to, take advantage of. The problem is it is one game. It's the only game we have to analyze and take a side on if we care to. We also have a total. It's sitting at 55. I've seen a little bit of 54.5. It had been 56. There's interesting. The game is in perfect conditions, indoors, on carpet. There's not going to be any wind or rain or anything like that. It's fast track. But there has been some under money, which is interesting because a lot of these fast track games tend to get bet over, and I think we've looked at about 25 out of the last 40 games in the Super Bowls have gone over. We do have some props to talk about, guys, if you care to. The Giants, I had some opinions from people on this. The Giants posted total is 26.5. Earlier it was 26.5 minus 30, which is a pretty big price. Now you're looking at 27 minimum there for them to cover that number. Giants scored 24 in the first meeting, all in the second half, interesting enough. Pat's defense, 31st in yards passing for the entire year. The Giants, of course, have stepped up their game since they got a lot of players back. They got the better of the wide receivers. Patriots, of course, have the better of the tight ends. But 26.5, but the line has come down on this. I'm seeing it minus 13 now instead of minus 30. So that's one situation. I look at the field goals, 3.5. The over is plus 120, so you're getting a little extra money. I kind of feel if the game's moving up and down the field a lot, you're going to see quite a few opportunities for scoring, and they're not all going to be touchdowns. And then, of course, you can go into overtime, and field goals could, if you bet the over, you can get a couple field goals in overtime, because the new rule is if the first team with the ball kicks a field goal, the game is not over. The other team does get the ball. So you could pick up, if they tie it, then you're picking up 2 field goals right there.
Right.
So, but it could actually happen in regulation because of the amount of yardage these two teams figure to get. So I'm kind of leaning over on that one.
I have one.
I'm looking at 327 yards for Tom Brady. A lot of people like him. I think he averaged, 340, except for the real good defensive teams that he played against, like Pittsburgh and Baltimore and such, and even the Giants. But you guys see any propositions that you're interested in?
I have one.
I saw too that I'm not a big prop guy, Jim, and the two I thought were interesting were either club. The Patriots were plus $1.50 to not convert a 4th down, and the Giants were plus $1.75. And I figured, in a big game like this, these guys are going to try to do everything they can. I see someone somewhere going for it on a 4th down situation and making it. If you take both teams and you split, you're going to make money because both are pretty strong dogs, and I think you have a good chance of winning on both sides because I think these teams this is a game they're going to go all out for. If they get a 4th down situation, they're going to try and outscore the other guy. And the other one, maybe Dave, you might like this. I thought it was kind of interesting to try and get 6-1 if Tom Brady would score a touchdown. They get down close to the goal. I can see him maneuvering around the goal line and getting the ball in the end zone because he's the best they got, and I think he knows how to win. So that would be it. I played both teams to convert on 4th downs and Brady to score a touchdown. 6-1 with Brady.
I have one that I like, and it's a real simple one. They've got a prop on Eli Manning to rush for over 3.5 yards in the game. I kind of look for unders because I think the public will bet over on most of these props, and I actually think the public will bet over on this. But I think they'll win.
Yeah.
Look, he's rushed for 10, 0, and 13 yards in the playoffs so far. Averages just under 8 yards per game. Remember, if you get sacked, it doesn't come off your rushing yards. So,
right.
At some point, I think he'll scramble and, get a 1st down. He needs 1 carry, basically, where he gets positive yardage. I can see him get an 8-yard run someplace. And so I'll take a chance on that one, over 3.5 rushing yards. Al, do you see any that jumped out at you for fun or for something serious?
Yeah. For me, what I'm going to try to do is leverage the fact that Bill Belichick will almost certainly defer if he wins the coin toss. And I think Tom Coughlin, there's a very good chance if the Giants win the coin toss that they'll take the ball because they don't want to fall behind New England. Therefore, I think there's a very, very good chance no matter who wins the coin toss, the Giants are going to start out with the football. So there are 2 things I'm going to do. I'm going to take the New York Giants at Pick'em to score first in the game. And I think the reason you see it at Pick'em is because I think most people do assume the Giants will get the ball first in this ball game. So even though New England's the better team and is projected to score more points in the game, the New York Giants are probably in a very good situation to be the first team to score. So I'm going to play that prop. The other prop that I like, and it's very similar, is that New England is minus -0.5 point at plus 105 to win the first quarter. Well, I'm also going to play the Giants at plus -0.5 point at minus juice, because that way, if the New York Giants and the Patriots end up tied after 1 quarter, you also win with the New York Giants. And I like taking that -0.5 point there in the first quarter, especially if I think I'm going to have 2 possessions to New England's possible 1 possession in the first quarter. So I like both of those plays on the New York Giants, guys.
A friend of mine, by the way, likes the over 134 on the national anthem. He actually did some research on it, and he thinks that, I forget who's singing it. I'm not.
What was it?
Kelly Clarkson.
2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago, the person held the note for 20 seconds to send it over the total by a second. You guys remember that one?
Yes.
I do remember that. Yes, that was.
That was when Carlo called, right? Carlo called.
Well, it's 1 minute and 34 seconds, I believe, is the total on the national anthem. I like that.
Well, we know where Dave is watching the Super Bowl. If he watches the Super Bowl, whether he's there, I'm not sure he can pay attention to it. But where are you guys watching it?
Well, Jim, I'll be at a place with Rocco called Whiskey Tango. It's quite a famous bar down here in South Florida because of they allow people to drink. If the Heat games are on TV and the Heat lose, they get $20 off their tab. So the place is always jammed when the Heat are playing basketball. Whiskey Tango is a great sports bar down here.
How about you, Al?
I'm just going to watch it in Los Angeles, probably over at some friend's place downtown LA, and it'll be fun. Even though my Packers, just blew it by not winning that game. I'm not like Chip and Paul Bovey. You guys both are huge Giants fans, and I'm still licking my wounds
by that Giant team.
What?
My goodness. Don't worry, you can play us in the tundra, you can play the Giants anywhere you want, you just can't get by the Giants. You didn't have to play in the playoffs last year. You got lucky.
Yeah. Still licking my wounds, Chip.
Sorry, Al. I haven't seen you in a while. I had to welcome you back.
Listen, good. He's got to be happier than Chip because he's a huge Giants fan and he hates the Jets. Chip is the one who came up with the name Green Slime for the Jets, and they're going through a lot of problems right now. This is going to be like a dream scenario for you. The Jets are, just a disaster right now, and here's the Giants Super Bowl.
That's part of it. Rocco's a Jet fan.
Chip?
Yes, Al.
Yeah, make sure if you bet the game, because I know you're going to take New England, Chip. Make sure if you bet the game, you take New England on the money line, because you don't want to have New England win the game by 1 or 2 points and be double pissed.
There's no way I'm laying points with the Patriots. I can tell you that right now. No way. I already know if I'm going to take it, I would take it on the money line. I just may let it go and root for the Giants anyway. So, I just don't. It's a tough call. I think it's going to be a great game. I do think there's going to be a lot of scoring out there.
But I'll tell you what, and this, seriously, the value on this game, we're not telling you who to bet. If you like the Giants in this game, you should have taken the points already. If you like the Patriots in the football game, the best move is to wait until game day and bet them on the money line, because you're actually going to get a good value on the Patriots money line on the day of the game. And good value doesn't mean you win the bet, but at least you're getting the best of it. And if you can get the best of it in terms of the price, the odds, you're ahead of the game. Once again, recapping what we've got going this weekend, Chip, you've got a really big game, and people can get it free. They can buy it, which is always nice, but there's a better way to get it, which is free.
That's right. I've had 2 conference game of the year winners already in the last 2 Saturdays, and the third one is the matchup's already there. I'll have it online for you. It'll be $49. But if you like it for free, you call my offices, 866-899-9462. You'll get the game for free. As a matter of fact, I'll throw in the Super Bowl as well, because that is a stone winner. We've had this one clocked for how long, Jim? At least 4 hours, right? Anyway, give me a call. Get this NCAA winner, because this matchup is like Al gave me a little synopsis, which I really enjoyed, Al, and I appreciate it. I may use that on Saturday. But give me a call, 866-899-9462. It's all free when you give me a call.
Big Al, Fortune 500, Super Bowl, chance to make a lot of money this weekend. And, they're not going to have to spend much, are they?
No, it's just $10. You get the Super Bowl action plus our Fortune 500 Club 2-team parlay Friday and Saturday, provided you're one of the first 100 callers who do sign up on Friday. We did this offer last Friday, and we had a record number of calls. So a few people weren't able to get involved because they weren't one of the first 100. So don't miss out. Make sure you call early on Friday. Call 866-896-1628. You get 2 plays, which each are sold for $500 online, plus our Super Bowl, all for just $10. 866-896-1628.
My numbers are going to produce some very good plays on a big schedule like Saturdays. There are going to be some really good plays out there. I just don't know what they are right now. There's no way I can create what I'm going to do. I got to see the numbers and then work them against my numbers. That's how it works. But what I can tell you is this. If you're getting my games in February, you're going to win a lot of money. This is my best month every year in basketball because my stuff, along with setting up for rematches and things like that, I have a lot of scenarios where revenge comes into play. If the math fits, it's really good. And this is my best month in basketball. $29. It works out to $1 a day. It's a leap year. That's why we're charging an extra $1 this year. Yeah, it said leap year every year, so I can get an extra $1. $29. You get all my action plays for the whole month. And whatever big game comes up on Saturday, you will get that included. I just can't tell you what conference it's going to be in or what if it's going to be a conference game of the year, but you're going to get something really good included. Plus the Super Bowl side in total. All for $29. 1-866-841-1665. 1-866-841-1665. And Jim, it's been a really good season for you in round ball. I mean, just really strong stuff. Your stuff is also very number one, and it works. I mean, this is good, and the big games have been firing like crazy. So, chance for people to get in and make a lot this weekend.
That's true, Dave. Thank you. My NBA game of the years of 28 and 16. My high rollers in college have been red hot. I started off real strong, leveled out a little bit, red hot again now. I got a 5-play package, college and pro basketball on Saturday for $5. Plus you'll get my call on the Super Bowl. And if you sign up on Friday, you'll get 3 Super Bowl props as well, and the Friday night NBA shocker. All for $5. This is the way to build your bankroll. Take advantage of all the offers you've heard. These guys are all doing well, and they will do well for you. So call everybody because it's not that much money. Like Dave said, they're all small dollars. Get involved. Get invested. Call my number, 1-866-841-1655. And this is our last football show. So we're going to be back here every day for college and pro basketball, but we'll have baseball coming up in another month or so. I guess anybody, last shot where Peyton Manning's going?
Yes. Yes. And this is interesting. There's actually a website.
I know where he's going.
There's a website that's been created. I believe it's comehomepeyton.com. They're actually soliciting donations to buy advertising to urge him to come back to Tennessee. I think there's 2 front runners. I think the Titans are definitely in the mix, and I think the Miami Dolphins are the other strong possibility for Peyton Manning.
Dave, I'd love to see him go to the Houston Texans with that strong defense and running game and a great receiver with Johnson. But why get him? What do you condemn him? What do you hate against Peyton Manning that you want to send him to Miami? He'll get lost there. This is not a place if anyone wants to win. I'm telling you, he doesn't want to come to Miami.
I don't know.
They got problems down here.
They got a pretty good chance to be good next year. And I think there's something about the opportunity to play the Patriots. He loves playing the Patriots. I think the opportunity to play the Patriots twice a year, division games, I think he'd eat that up.
That's a big game down here. I'm in Miami, and I'd hate to see him playing for the Dolphins. I don't want to see his career go take a slide. It's bad down here.
Now we're worried about what happens to Peyton Manning. That's interesting. Al, you got an opinion?
The worst one, because there's been a lot of speculation on it, and I don't remember who it was. But somebody said, well, the Redskins, they're in a position where they can't draft they're not going to be able to draft a real good quarterback because they really can't trade, and they need a quarterback because they got those two guys, Grossman and Beck. Neither one of them can play. There's no way he would go into a division where he had to play Eli twice a year. There's zero possibility he ends up with the Redskins. No chance at all.
No. I don't see that happening.
Well, how about the Green Slime, Chipper? The Green Slime is not really happy with what's going on up there. Sanchez is not a winner.
He already said that he's interested.
Yeah,
I think he's got a shot there.
If they do, you know that Sanchez's career is totally over if they go up for this guy, and they have to just get rid of him. I mean, that's it, right? So, do you give up on Sanchez after 3 years?
He can be a backup somewhere. There's a lot of guys in the league like that.
Yeah, well,
what are you going to do?
I don't know.
Here's the thing. I don't.
Yeah, but there's problems here in New York too. These guys hate each other.
I wouldn't give.
I mean, they're
on Sanchez just yet. I don't know. He might develop, but he's lost that team, and you can't trade away the whole team. So,
they got problems. Jets got big problems in the locker room.
How about you, Al? What do you think?
I just think we just wait and see what Peyton does. I mean, first he has to get healthy. I mean, he's a far cry from being healthy. So I think a lot of the speculation is premature until we know that he's actually going to play a game.
Well, he sure sounds.
Well, that's true.
He plays.
But it's fun to talk about.
Yeah.
It's a big story.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you, and good luck this weekend. Have fun. I know one guy for sure will have a lot of fun. That's Dave, where he's watching the game. But everybody else try to have fun, too.
I'm at Crazy Horse.
Good luck, guys.
And my co-host is Jenny Hendricks, who's an X-rated film star. And actually, because I never watched that stuff, I looked her up on the internet.
You mean you never buy it?
On the game. I'll see you later.
God bless. Go Giants.